Here is a nice tip. Fitting one object to another is a very common requirement when doing steel detailing. And typically the command which most programs will have will be by selecting an element and then selecting 2 points. Usually you will be working in a 2D environment. You will select an element and you will select 2 points, and the profile will be fitted. In COMOSYS, you can do the same thing, but in a slightly different way as well, which is by selecting surfaces rather than points. And what you do is you go to your fitting command and you select the element which needs to be fitted, and you just select the surface which will fit it. So select the element, select the surface, and you're done. Now, this is very convenient because you don't need to choose the side which needs to be removed. Now, if you turn on the cuts, you will see that these are the fitting cuts over here. And there are some other options. If you were to double click on them, you will see that you can actually give an offset. So if I give an offset of 20 millimeters, this element will be cut at 20 millimeters distance from that surface, which is usually what we want. We don't necessarily have to make the element go all the way. Another option which it has is to create a perpendicular cut. Now, what does this mean? If we do it like that, then the fitting is actually done in such a way that it approaches that surface, and at a distance of 20 millimeters, it will do a perpendicular cut. Let's move this back to 0 to see what the normal reaction would have been. So this is what this would have been had we left that number to be 0 and the perpendicular cut option is set. And this can be used very nicely when you're dealing with creation of gusset plates. So this is very handy. Now, another nice thing to note about this feature is that you can actually, because most of the time you will not be working in the 3D. Now, what I did was when I used this command was I was working like this, but this is not recommended. Normally, when you're working in 2D plans or sections, and when working in plans and sections, it's difficult to select the surface which is the underside of this beam, for example. But when you use the fitting command, you can select this element, and then it asks you for a surface. Now I'm selecting those surfaces, but this is not the one I want. I want this one. So go exactly above that line and press enter. Press the left mouse button, and you will get your same fitting once again. Once again, for this one, I can select this, and then I can just hover over this line and say click, and the fittings are created.